Hey, everybody. How you doing, John?
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Hi, guys.
So here we are today for Photoshop Unleashed. John Williams and Mark Itskowitch going to blow your mind with all this wonderful Photoshop goodness. So
Yeah, man. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to do this.
let me see. Maybe I'll share my screen.
Yeah, maybe you will.
Maybe I will. And then I'm going to switch over to this view.
Okay.
So how you guys doing today?
Good, very good.
Yeah, I'm glad it's Friday and feeling good. How about you, man?
Not bad, not bad. I'm feeling pretty good.
You're looking good. Yeah, you got lots of sunshine there in Cali.
Finally, you know, summer just showed up in LA.
Well, let me do a quick play of the video, yeah, so people know what we're going over today, yeah.
Okay.
So here we are. This is the Adobe Photoshop Unleashed.
Who made this amazing video?
Okay, ready? Mark did it.
I know. Oh, but we need sound. Maybe you can narrate it. Photoshop Unleashed. Expand your artistic superpowers and get creative with inspiring techniques to freshen up your toolkit. Explore fresh tips, tricks, and creative techniques. Spice things up. We got the secret sauce, baby. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping your brush, this session will ignite your passion for creativity.
Reserve your spot and learn to make your images
pop.
I take it that you couldn't hear it because John was reading the whole thing. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then I was trying to read it, but I was muted, so that didn't help too much. Oh well.
Come on.
If we had to take two, I actually was getting the text. I had it. I could have done it, but
Good job on the video, though. It looks yeah, very nice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was actually watching and all the excitement. I was like, I think the video might be a little more exciting than the class. I don't know. We don't have background music and okay, guys, here we go now. You know, it's not.
Are you ready to rumble? I can get up and do
we'll
the
try to
frost.
keep it pumped up. You know, we'll try.
All right, so people are coming in. So welcome everybody. Where are you watching from? And we have Suzanne's here.
Oh,
Good to
Suzanne.
see you here. She's going to be doing a live soon. I think next Friday. So,
Great.
good to see you here.
Yeah, Suzanne. She's all right. That Suzanne's cool.
So yeah, everyone who's here, welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. And then for those who are watching from Facebook, remember to please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pic, so I'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions. Just scroll down underneath the live to where you see the link, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give permissions, jump on back. And then we got Edward from Sanford, Florida.
Salud. Thanks for coming.
And then before we begin, just wanted to give a quick shout out about the new Benq monitor.
Woo!
Benq PD3225U 4K Thunderbolt 3 monitor. Great monitor, just came out. It's got Thunderbolt 3, display P3, MBook mode options. So yeah, 32-inch Thunderbolt monitor for versatile Mac users. 16:9 UHD LG IPS Black panel. 2001 contrast ratio for deeper black levels, versatile workflow. Exclusive MBook color mode minimizes visual differences between the Mac displays and external monitors. Wide color gamut offers the smoothest color gradations, natural color transitions, and subtle shading. Exclusive software display Pilot 2 with designer-oriented features and iKeyboard control to adjust volume and brightness of Mac devices. And then the breakdown of the 98 P3, 99 sRG, and 99 REC 709 color gamut. Quite a nice monitor. Check it out. I will be posting the link to that in the description and the recording afterwards.
I want one now, man.
Was it a rumor that the first 10 participants get that free monitor free?
No.
That's right.
Wrong rumors.
That was a
No
different
rumor.
room.
Call Andrew's house right now.
Oh, sorry, you just missed it. You were actually number 11.
That's right. That's how it rolls. Okay, we got a lot to go over. So who wants to go first, John or Mark?
I'd
Wait.
say age before beauty.
Oh, well, you're both, I think, right? Hello.
Hey,
I'm
Do you
good.
want to go? You want to go first, John?
If you want, yeah, and okay, but I'm gonna go pretty fast. Okay, you see this graphic right here? So this is okay.
You don't have to go that fast.
Okay, when I woke up one morning, and I had this crazy idea. Wouldn't it be a great name for a ramen place? Wouldn't it be called Rockin' Ramen? So I Googled it, and turns out there is a place called Rockin' Ramen here in my home state of Texas, just 4 hours away in the city of Temple. So good job, guys, for beating me to it. But so this is Walkin' Ramen. I know.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
this is really good, but this could be possibly racist. Walking ramen is kind of like the rockin' ramen, but with the accent.
I think we're just I don't know. We're all
Just having fun.
I
though.
like it.
I
Rockin'
don't know.
ramen.
I don't know. But so walking a little play on words there. I know. Very clever. I know. How do I do it?
Walk with
Do it with the cat too. I like the cat. In the
It's
top
just that was an afterthought. That was the last thing. But I'm gonna try to recreate this. It was all done in Photoshop except for this little lady here that was done in Adobe Firefly. Go figure, huh? So Adobe Firefly did a fantastic job creating exactly what I was looking for. I just wanted a pretty girl chef holding a large bowl of ramen. Boom, it gave me exactly. So yeah, so we're going to try to kind of recreate this in the time allotted to us. I created a little bit of a color palette, as you can see right there. So I just kind of created a color palette because I am color impaired, so I need all the help I can get. So we'll try to work off of that. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this in a group. Oop, almost all of it in a group. Boop. Hey, cooperate with me. Recognize my thought.
It's already in the group. Yeah.
All right, there we go. So there it is. We're starting with a clean slate. So we're going to bless you. We're going to start with, so you start with some plain old text. For the sake of time, have gone ahead and created the text in here. So what I did was okay, I'll start the text over. I'm sorry. We'll just start it over. All right, because you want to see how this is done. Walking ramen, right? Ta-da! All right, and we're done. Look at it. We make it that small.
That's great.
I know, isn't it fabulous? Let's see.
Thanks everyone for watching.
All right, good night, everybody. So walking, and for some reason it has.
Hey, how'd you make the text so big so fast? You got to let us know what you're doing.
What I'm doing? Oh,
yeah. How did you do that so fast? That was like so
for
impressive.
Pete's sake, you guys. Okay, so I just scaled it up.
Scrubbing. You were scrubbing.
But how'd you scale it up?
Okay, so what I did was Command T, boop.
Right.
And just grab the little corner here. Okay. And if yours doesn't, for whatever reason, do it by default, you can do Shift and it'll maintain the. Now, some people will get like snippy if you do if you scale up your text because that's like supposedly a bad thing. Whatever.
I've never seen any quality.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Yeah, I haven't either. It hasn't ever been.
All text in vector is also all text in Photoshop is vector, and if you scale it, it actually ups the font.
Oh, there you go. Yes, it does. It definitely does. So I don't see a problem with it, but some people. Okay, so what we want to do? We want to make a copy of that. Burp.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you make this 3D?
This is how it. This is it. This is the secret sauce that Mark was talking about here.
It's a cool font. I mean, already I see the sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember. I think I got this from Envato Elements. They got some pretty fonts and Adobe fonts as well. Has great stuff. So between those two places, I probably have satisfied my craving for fonts and more fonts. So this was called Jareen.
Yep.
I don't know.
Jareen.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Their names are dumb. Okay, so I got this layer selected, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to, and I'm sorry you can't see my
menus.
My menus up
that here. Happened to me too on a recording recently.
On the other screen, yeah. Yeah. So what you got to do? I'm going here to Window, and then right here, if you can only see it, is 3D. It's still in Photoshop. Now, I typically don't recommend you do 3D text in Photoshop, but you can. If you don't want to go up to Illustrator, or you're not comfortable in Illustrator, that's cool. It's still there. It's just,
so you choose 3D
I've got my
extrude.
opinions, and I'll just keep it to myself on Photoshop. But there you go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to.
Did you guys feel that? Did everybody feel that?
Did you feel that? I know I did. I felt
like your video, Mark.
So I'm going to turn off the shadows thing here, and okay, so we got that. All right, cool. Now I'm going to show this layer that we copied, and you can go up here and under layer. I apologize again because my menu is over on my other screen. I'm so ashamed of myself. But you go over to, if you know Photoshop, you go down to layer style, and we're going to do some stuff to it, okay? So right away, we got a layer style right there. So I picked a gradient, but I want to use a gradient from our color palette. So let's see, let's go back. Where's our color palette? Where'd it go to?
Inside the folder, maybe?
Oh, it's over here. I left it on the
group one. Yeah,
I did. Let's move our color palette. I want to keep that. Well, there it is. It's up there. Shush. All right. All right. So I want to use something off that color palette. And actually, you know what? I don't even need to do a gradient overlay. Watch this. I'm going to create a new layer down here in the corner. I'm going to create a clipping mask by clicking Option Alt, and you see the little arrow there. It's going to create a clipping. Okay, now
that was cool. You did all that.
There you go, and I'm done. And G for gradient, and I'm just gonna take this right here. Whoop,
wow.
And I'm just gonna take this and go whoop like that.
Wow.
I know, bro. Right? Stop it.
No, it's cool.
B for brush, and
it almost works like a shine of light.
It does. I know. You can kind of create your own thing if you want to go that way. I mean, why not? Your creation. You can do whatever the heck you want. All right. So then for this, I'm just going to get a B.
Wow.
And there you go. It's not terrible, right?
Multicolored, nice.
Not terrible. Now I have this little metal texture thing. It disappeared. There we go. Metal texture. I'm going to lay that on top of that. Brink. And I'm also going to make that a clip.
That baby.
Here we go. Doink.
Super cool, man.
Now blending modes is kind of where it's at, baby. I love blending modes.
Wow.
You could do like a soft light, maybe a soft light or overlay. Soft light.
Soft light show the texture. What about color? Will color show the texture as well, or
ooh, color? Because it's coloring the color. I could.
Andrea's in the house.
Hey, Andrea. Glad you're here.
What's up, Andrea?
So what if I do this? Okay, I'll switch this to color. Okay, switch these colors to color. Go figure. And so now I've got the metal texture underneath that. And I don't know. I kind of created an interesting thing. And you can like adjust your opacity, opacitize, if you like. Whatever suits you. We're just going to keep going though. And I'm going to do like, watch this. Are you going to love this? Layer style. And I'm going to do like a bevel emboss. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that gradient overlay thing. I'm going to do a bevel emboss. Did I do the right layer? I did. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Bevel emboss. Okay. And I got to keep an eye on the time. So yeah, you see that it kind of created this nice little edge to it. Right. I'm just going to add a little bit of a stroke to give it just a little more punch. Not that much. Let's see.
Maybe change the color of the grays.
Multiply. Yeah, and I think we'll make that gradient or that stroke a little darker. And something like like that. It's not much, but it'll just give it just a little bit of extra, you know? Okay, cool. So I'm going to turn all this into a smart object. All right. So that's good for now. Just kind of scale that down there. All right. Now we have our chef. Whoop. We'll bring her in. Isn't she lovely with the giant bowl of ramen? Yay!
Fun.
We're going to remove the background, which if you know Photoshop, you probably got this dialed in pretty good. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And you could always make fine-tune adjustments, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to. I've heard, you can confirm this, guys, but I've heard that if you, when you select an object, if you click down and you click cloud, you actually get a little bit better selection. Is there truth to that?
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. So
Looks pretty good.
looks pretty great right there.
What key you said?
Oh, so I'm using the what is the shortcut for that? Oh, W.
Quick
W.
selection.
I clicked the quick selection tool. I went up to the toolbar and just did the select subject, and I twirled down to the cloud.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that before.
I hear it gets slightly better, but I don't know. So I've been told. So that looks pretty great. So yeah, we'll do that.
And then you click the layer mask icon.
Yeah, you can fine tune it if you want, and yeah, like you can refine the hair and all that stuff. But I don't think we need to do that just right now. And again, I want to be respectful of our time. So yeah, you can fine tune it more from there, but like hair and stuff like that.
That's great.
But yeah, I mean right. So what else? We can add some more. Let's see what we get. Oh,
Color to the background.
I haven't tried this yet, but I saw that there was like this floor thing. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I haven't even tried this yet. This is just crazy talk here. So I don't know. So I don't know, adding that. And it seemed like it was a fairly good perspective. But if it's not quite right, you can always just like shift, drag these handles. And then
That's cool, the old perspective.
yeah, enter and try to gain Control T, and then shift. Let's see. So that's fine. That's fine. We're not going to use very much of that anyway. It's going to be kind of covered up. I don't know. That was just something I thought I'd add in. Wasn't in the original. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. There's our chef. Okay, and oh, yeah. So I had this thing, which kind of gives us the little shooty outy lines
to it.
The shooty outy lines, as I call it in the official vernacular. So for this, you want to go under filter, okay, filter, and you want to go to blur. You have all kinds of blur options here. Some of them I'm just like mastering because they're crazy. And then there's a radial blur. So under radial blur, you'll see a little box pops up like this.
There it is, yeah.
Ta-da! And then you don't want spin, although spin can give you some interesting results. And I really want to punch that out, but the center is kind of like over slightly to the left, so I'm going to move the little thing.
So you choose zoom, right?
Yeah, zoom. And good is good enough, I guess. So yeah, see, and I think we'll do just another one, just for grins. Do it. So we'll repeat it. So I'm going to filter, and it'll be at the top. So just hit radial blur again, and it'll just do it again. It'll give you a double. So yeah, you get that. And the more I think about it, I don't like that floor. It kind of clashes with the whole aesthetic. So I'm just going to get rid of it.
Delete.
The wonderful thing about Photoshop, right? I wish life had a series of undos. I mean, wow. Like 4 million levels of undo.
Yeah. It does. You have a next day, right? Next day is your.
That's true, especially if you're in the movie Groundhog Day. And I like to label my layers, so I'll call this title so I know where I am, because you have a lot of.
I met Bill Murray at an art opening in Manhattan. That was fun.
Oh, really? I didn't know he was an artist. I mean, other than his art of comedy.
I'm not sure if he's an artist, but he was at the art opening though.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool, man. Wouldn't it be amazing to run into that guy? I have so many questions. Particles. I also have this little particles image thing. I think I got from Adobe stock, where I pretty much get everything.
Drag that in.
Drag that in. Yeah, simple as that. And we'll drag it down here just above the little speedy weedies. For this one, I think I might try a blend if. Let's just see what happens. So, you know, if you just do that, you get kind of a tough.
And how did you get to blend if?
Oh, good question. Okay, here's how I got to it. I just went over here on my little layers panel and over off to the right, just a little bit, somewhere off to the right, not the actual words, but I just double click on it and it brings up blend if. Ta-da! And so, yeah, you can drag these little sliders and it's tough. But here's some more of Mark's secret sauce. You can click Option Alt and click on this, and it'll give you.
Wow, this guy is good.
Yep, split that tab is nice.
Stop it. Stop it. It'll just give you.
Now I see why you have the hat. It all makes sense.
Enough with the hat. I mean, it keeps my head warm. I didn't shave enough teeth. Look, I didn't shave my head today, and it just looks awful.
Oh my God! You can't go out of the house like that.
Put the hat back on. I know, right? Okay.
It's his chef's hat for walking ramen.
It is.
It's an artist hat.
Yeah, right.
No, it's good stuff.
Oh well, okay. How much time? Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here real quick.
Coming together nicely.
It's coming together nicely. So we already got something pretty good here, but you know, the little fine-tuned stuff really is what makes it. And you can blend mode that if you want. This little particle thing. Let's see. I don't know.
Make it pop.
Make it pop. I don't know.
It's popping right now. Maybe a little glow around the walk-in.
Oh yeah, let's do some glow on the title because I did put some of that, didn't I? Thank you very much. Appreciate
you want to make it pop. Can you guys like make it like pop a little bit more? Just give it some pop.
Have you have been asked that, haven't you? I have.
Oh yes, I have.
Probably a dozen or more, at least.
Yep. All of a sudden, everybody's a creative director, you know.
Oh, I know. Designed by committee. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
Indianapolis is in the house. What's up, Indianapolis?
Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay. And one more thing on the speed thing. I think I liked it better. Okay, so I did Command I and inverted it. So I kind of like that better. I think. I don't know. You know what? If you don't like it better, then fine. You can do it yourself. So we can get our brush and we can lower the opacity of the brush and just kind of see X. Goes back and forth, toggles between your front, your colors there. Yeah, that. So we can play with that. I don't know, take stuff away, put stuff back, whatever.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. I'm being silly. And imagine that. So, yeah. We can even do the, let's see what happens if we do the radial blur with that. I don't know. That's kind of neat. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I think it kind of pops, doesn't it?
It pop.
It does pop. All right, real quick. It says keep going. What's up? Indianapolis. All right.
In his house.
In the hizzle. I'm up on the hizzy. And then we can add some more text. Like I had my, what did I say? What did I say on that? Oh, this doesn't offend anyone. Home of the hot nudes. Like in noodles, you know? Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay. All right. There we go. And that's way too big. So let's make it. And different font. I think I have this other one called Yoshio. Kind of just for a different font. And we'll add some stuff to that too. Let's see. Oh, how about a drop shadow? That would make it pop. I mean, drop shadow, you can do a lot with drop shadow. I think it gets a bad rap. People say, oh, you're using drop shadow on that. You can do a lot with drop shadow.
It'll make it much more readable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually create like a 3D effect with that by just like adding. See right here? These little plus signs. Oh, you see that I kind of gave the game away. I already
You do
have
a lot of drop shadow, yeah.
a bunch of drop shadows here. And then you can nest those like in a group and then do it again and then nest that. And then you get this like faux 3D kind of thing effect. So if you're in a pinch, you don't feel like doing actual 3D, you can actually do that with drop shadow.
Cool.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, and then we'll I don't know, make that
Well, the hot nudes.
kind of like the hot nudes. Gonna
A lot
get
of
me
play
some.
on words in this one.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't hope my mom's not watching. Okay.
Good idea, really. I mean,
I don't know.
get some attention.
You know, you might get the wrong crowd coming in the
Yeah.
business. And then
There's a place in LA called
It's all
Bad
spelling though. They know what it is.
yeah, exactly. And then finally, we'll add a little bit of a glow. So layer style, outer glow, boosh, and a little bit of that. And again, gives it a little more what? A little more pop. Yeah, something like that. Well, maybe even a little bit of inner glow, just a tiny bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of, yeah, it doesn't suck too bad. Pretty good. So there you go, and you can keep going from that. And finally, the pièce de résistance. There she is.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, a little
Where'd you get that?
happy kitty, happy cat. We'll maybe move some stuff around.
Was that made in Firefly?
That was made by a talented artist on Adobe stock.
Cool.
Yeah,
Goes well with it though. Yeah.
it does. Okay, so see, we'll move our title down and this down just a little bit.
There we go.
We can see more of our cat.
That's right.
And there you go. And our chef just a little bit more over here. And there you go. So that wasn't bad. We did that in 20 minutes.
That's
not
a grand
bad.
walking ramen.
Walking ramen.
Hot nudes.
Yeah.
And we got to see hot nudes. So, I mean, like, hello, bonus.
Opening to a town near you. And anyway, hope that was okay. But
Pretty cool.
yeah.
So I think you guys know that I created this video with Photoshop and Chat GPT, right? And I was going through the new Chat GPT, and it's actually like it's not real. A lot of people thought it was real. This morning, I wake up, a friend of ours from the family, sorry, there's a plane flying above, lets me know that Chat GPT and Canva have this integration where I could just talk into the phone and say, hey, chat, yeah, can you make me an Instagram post for a Photoshop webinar to 3 p.m. today? I mean, it wasn't beautiful. I wish I could find it, but I'll probably get lost finding it.
So Adobe Express has
I created an Instagram post with Photoshop experts, Photoshop webinar with a graphic, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. So they're ahead of the game. Express has to catch up.
Soon
I'm
enough.
going to share that video in the chat for those that care to wish to watch it afterwards, because, right now we're live. I'm making things pop. Let's go.
Ready to share your Photoshop screen?
Woo. I am ready to share my screen.
Okay. Switch over.
And my scream, if you heard that one. Can we see me?
Uh-huh.
I do. Yes.
So I was also thinking, it made me think today about not only is this integration happening, and now, people don't need me anymore because they can just speak into an app and boom, they have an Instagram post. I realized that, you really have to mix the old with the new. And sometimes the new doesn't always work. So for instance, I have this picture here, as you can see. And if I look at the cloud, the background, it's not great. So
it's a bit hazy.
What can I do? I mean, I guess I can try to use maybe the selection tool, quick selection tool perhaps, and maybe select this area possibly, but it's not doing the best job, right? So you have to know other things, like pressing the option key to subtract from the quick selection tool, maybe just a little bit, something like that. Or maybe I could just use a Photoshop thing. I could either select it and say add a background, but isn't there like a sky replacement? I can try to use that. Oh, it didn't detect my sky. So let me get rid of this picture here. Oops. Oops. So if I ask like generate fill to just fill this, let's do that. Let's try to do that, right? If I leave it blank, maybe it just knows what to do. And we use some AI. But again, we don't ever know what the results are really going to be. We just have to sit there and wait.
Right. I wonder what happens since you went over there.
And
you
that's the picture from before. So I'm not even
you
sure what
you
they
got
did.
that from just generative fill.
Maybe they went on the wrong. Maybe I was in the wrong layer, but I'll try one more time real fast. I'm on the correct layer this time.
Sorry. I love the. I've been using that way too much lately.
What's that?
Generating.
Yeah.
So it didn't really. It did okay here. Not great, right? It's okay. It's not much better than before. We can keep generating, or maybe I could try a different route, which maybe is selecting that sky. I don't know if a quick selection, object selection tool maybe would work for that. No, because it's not an object. Yeah, it kind of did work. We can try to do edit, sky replacement. And that does a much better job, right? And this is an older tool. So sometimes we have to go back to our toolkit. And we think that, people can just, select the hand and add a birthday cake. They don't even need me anymore. But there's other ways, and they don't know every other way. So quickly, obviously, I could waste more time going through the different skies, but you get the gist. I could just come in here,
there, the blue
swap out.
Yeah,
that one kind of actually fits. We'll just stay there. I'm not looking to get perfect. So that's one way to just spicing up your images. Got to just perfect things that aren't there using either generative AI, expand or fill, or sometimes you have to go back and go to the old school way. So sky replacement isn't really
nothing wrong with old school.
That's right. No school like the old school.
And then other things we can do is use layer styles, right? It's always a quick way. Like, in Thailand, I know for years, it was very big to have these, let me bring this on top. Well, let me just merge all these together to a smart object. That way it's all one together in one layer. Oops, that's a different stuff. Anyway, so it's all in one layer.
Don't let the cat out of the bag now.
And now maybe I can add a black and white filter. So it's black and white. And then you'll see that every layer effect comes with a mask. So I can just take my brush and come in here, and obviously I would take my time, maybe Command plus to zoom in, use the bracket tools to use the brush and kind of just color in, maybe use my brush tool, airbrush, bring up the flow a little bit and just kind of color these guys in. And I would do this obviously slower, but quickly making your images pop and stand out. Right? Easy, old school method.
It pops. Oh boy, does that look good or what?
Is it popping?
It's popping, baby.
All right. So obviously, I can go over it more, do a better job, go slower, yada, 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 but you get the gist of it.
Nice.
We can even go further on this. So now I have this on top of this, and maybe I'll take both of those and put those into a smart object because I have them together. But I also have all the layers. I can always go back to my stuff. And now maybe I'll take another thing. Everyone uses these layer effects, drop shadows, strokes, etc. So, an easy thing is, just adding a stroke to it. Or I can come in here and, let's do that first. I'll show you that. I can easily add a stroke, something like this. It just gives it some flavor by just double clicking, adding a stroke, making that stroke white, and maybe thickening it up. That stroke, and you'll see that you have to watch the stroke because from outside to inside to center, the radius of the corner is different. So we really want to get here inside for the most part. Many times you'll see it's nice and square. And then I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, there's my stroke. I'm not sure why it's showing the stroke there. Oh, you know what happened? Yeah. So I'm just going to press Command J real fast just so I have just this little piece right there.
Yeah,
just to quickly move and then quickly add that stroke again. There we go. Now we're seeing our stroke.
Right.
So just something like that. Make sure you go inside to make it square. So just something like this and adding a drop shadow just by itself.
Yeah.
And maybe take the background and do different things to it. I don't know why it's not moving here. Usually, a lot of times you can drag out the shadow's not moving, but I don't know what happened to the drop shadow, but it's
I noticed some of the stuff is like you got to wrestle with.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's another thing we can do is a little bit more is fancier than that, is maybe just taking like odd shapes, like just selecting some odd shapes here. Maybe, of course, grabbing the faces and the people, making sure the content that you want is in those selections. Just random shapes, and I could have went the opposite way as well. And I'll take this. Oh, actually, I'm going to take from this layer, because that layer is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. And I'm going to press Command J again to jump the selected areas to their own layer. So now I have this. Ooh. What if I now added a new layer underneath, filled it with, press D for default colors, and then Command D to fill with white. And now you can see exactly what those cutouts did. And now I can double click, and here I can add a drop shadow and maybe a stroke. And we made things pop.
Nice.
I could also even take this white layer and maybe reduce the opacity. Right now I have this transparency of the black and white underneath, making that pop. Or I could take this layer and make a come over here and add a hue saturation and add now and colorize it and add a tint to make that pop. Right? I mean, there's so many things we can just keep doing on top of things, on top of things, on top of things, to make things pop. Obviously, it's strong. I can, lighten it down. Or I could even go in here to that background and use a filter and maybe blur it. Maybe like a motion blur. And if I really push it, you see I get these directional lines that kind of can make a background with it, or just kind of, give another twist and movement and pop to the image.
Sweet. That's how you do it.
And then here's an old school technique. I think it was at the Photoshop professionals meeting or something like that. I forget. But I'm just going to take this layer here, make a Command J to duplicate the layer. And then I'm going to grab my crop tool and use the crop tool to increase the canvas size. No specific amount. I'm just increasing it. Give myself some space. I can always crop it when I'm done. And maybe I'll take this layer here and fill it with white with the Command Delete. And I can now grab this photo and put it here. And we have just a normal photo, but how do we spice it up? Maybe we can add a layer like I did before and just make it into like, an old school Polaroid shot. And if you don't know what that is, I guess you can look that up while you're looking up what cassette tapes and VHSs.
Blockbuster video.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna fill this with well, I was gonna fill it with white, but let's not fill it with white. Maybe we fill it with like a light gray. So I can either choose the light gray here, or I could just use like cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And if they're all 0, 0, 0, this is black, I could just add like 15% black, right? And I know exactly what color I'm getting if I needed to choose. And I can press Command bracket to put that layer underneath. And now I have this Polaroid snapshot, which in itself could look kind of neat. I can also spice that up a little bit here by maybe putting an inner shadow into the photo right there. Just maybe make it a little bit smaller, just to give it a little bit of flavor and depth.
3D effect, yeah.
3D effect kind of. And then I can maybe take these two guys, and for now I'm just going to merge them together, or you probably should right click and convert to smart object. I'm just kind of scared that what I'm going to do next might not work, but let's just see. I'll press Command J here, make a copy, and then I'm going to go to my filter. I mean, just by itself, I could use like a marker felt and just write something and twist this to the side, and it looks kind of neat. But I'm going to use a filter to distort and shear this. And I'll put a dot in the center, and I'll just kind of drag it out a little bit, and you can see it kind of pop to the left like that.
Cool shear. I've never used.
And then I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to command click. If I command click here, it gives me the selection of the contents of that layer, and I'll press Option Delete. Oh, I can't see. That's the problem I'm running into. I cannot fill that layer. So I'm going to make another layer and Command Delete to fill with black. Oh, that's not the right layer though. Oh,
you get out a layer mask to it.
Sometimes you go fast and you go too fast. So I'm going to. Oh yeah, that'll work. I can do that. That was right. I was right. Okay, so I have that layer, and it's a shadow. And now I can do the exact same thing. Command D to deselect, go back to my filter, back down to distort, shear, and this time we're going to shear the opposite way, just a little smidget. Boom. So now we have the photo, and I should have sheared the other way, but I hate the, I kind of like when the sunlight's coming the other way, but I went too fast. You get the idea of the shearing. I sheared the wrong way, but I wish I sheared the Polaroid the opposite way and the shadow, so it would be on the right, but good enough. And now I can just go to filter, another blur, Gaussian blur, and maybe pump that up a little bit, and then maybe lower the opacity, something like that.
3D now.
And then I could even take these two and Command T. Whoops. That's giving me a problem too. Why can't I do that? Oh, there it goes. It worked. And I could just rotate them together. I'm getting some kind of weird thing happening there. And then I could take in my libraries like a thumbtack. And I'll Command A, Command C, Command W, but my W key just gave out the other day. Isn't that crazy? On my Mac. So I've been using like voice to text, and I got to say it's a lot faster to email people by talking into it instead of writing. So it's been saving me some time actually. So I'll just get the background real fast. And, you know, obviously I might not have done it that quickly and that fast, but it's okay at this size because it's so big. Right. And then when I scale it down, I'm going to lose a lot of that fine detail anyhow.
Right.
And since that's the flat part of the image, I probably want to put that thumbtack, and I'm not sure if I deleted too much. I might have got the little pinhole. I guess I got rid of it, but it's all right. I can just kind of make another layer here, drag it underneath, and add a little black dot right there, where it would be kind of sticking into the Polaroid paper. If you ever remember that thick kind of Polaroid paper. Mm-hmm. And then I can take this right here, Command click, add a new layer, Command delete to fill that with black. And again, same sort of things, blur with the Gaussian blur. I'll use the same blur. Maybe I won't, it's too much. Command T, and if I use Command T, I can right click and do all this stuff, perspective, distort. I like using distort, and I don't really like the extra step of right clicking. So if you just hold down the Command key, I could have the distort just working for me here. Yeah, just hold on to the Command key as I'm moving things around. And then I could have this little shadow, which again, I'm just moving fast. I'm not saying it's perfect, just getting the ideas down. Lower the opacity, go down to add a blur and a Gaussian blur, something like that. And now we're going to mix that. So I used to take, I've taught this before. It's not my first time. And I used to take like a color brown and then add noise to it and then like turn it and stretch it, and it would turn into like corkboard. But instead of doing that now, I could just speak to my friend over here and just maybe I'll just do Command A and I'll say corkboard and let AI go to work. So again, it's not just using the AI, right? We're using a combination of tools to get what we're trying to make here.
Perfect.
Not bad. I can even go a step further to get a little bit more flavor, maybe to take this.
We're brush. So spoiled now, right?
I know.
You don't even have to go out to get a stock image anymore. You just, type it in, boom.
Oh yeah, you don't exactly. But this is, I'm assuming this is like a picture of their family, But I'm going to lower this flow even more. And sometimes I like to just make a big circle and kind of add a little just to make it not so perfect, and also kind of bring our eye into the middle even a little bit more, right?
I'm a big fan of vignetting. Maybe I've used it too much. I try to dial it back, but yeah.
Now it looks like a TV show or something.
And then what I should have done before I twisted it, of course, is put down what's today, the 14th?
Yes.
Trump's birthday.
No way.
Is it?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate. Anyway, so something like that. And I would turn it and put it in there.
Yeah.
And then maybe just change
PS Pop.
This, I don't know, chalkboard, or is there like a marker
Marker would be good. Yeah.
felt, something like that. And then maybe just a little opacity a tad bit. There's also things I could even use using like burn.
Oh yeah, burn. Yeah.
Where's there a dodge and burn? So I could use a dodge and burn. So I always use burn.
The shadows look good on over the corkboard too, as well.
Yeah, it comes in nice, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just go on top here, maybe a layer on top, so I can just kind of take the burn and just kind of slowly go across. Wait, it's not working, is it?
You're in an empty layer.
Oh, you're in a.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, because you're.
Yeah, you have to be in a layer that has some type of.
So I hate to have to actually do the stuff on it, but I could just. Okay. I could just slowly come over here because that would be the shadow. And then I could switch to the dodge and maybe lower the brush because highlights usually be more thin, and then kind of shift back and forth where the highlight would be when the image would fold. It's very faint. There we go.
Yeah, get a little nuance to it.
Well, yeah, those little differences.
You get it. The pop, 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 pop. Okay. Sorry, I was just watching that video and I was thinking, how am I going to make this actual webinar as exciting as the video? You know,
I know. So like really.
Oh, actually, this is the one I was going to do the Photoshop pop. So then, speaking of Polaroids, another thing we can do is, to just give something a twist. Like, how about if we set the focus? So the focus of this image maybe is this monk here, and I can just make him pop by making it different than the black background. Or I can even right-click and transform my selection, not necessarily the actual pixels, but just my selection. And I'll just rotate this selection a little bit, and maybe pop in his feet there top off a little bit. I don't want to go outside the corner. But something like that, I can press OK. Now I have this selection, and I can open a new layer, or actually I can just press Command J, right? And that'll jump up this selection to its own layer. Now I've got that piece of the image. And again, I can double click and add that stroke like I did before with the inside, because that's nice and square. Make it white like the paper again. Again, just that is making it pop. I can even add a drop shadow underneath it to take it away from the other image. And I don't know why you used to be able to drag out from here to drag your shadows. I don't know how that, I did it a couple days ago, but
it should be. Yeah, I saw you do it.
It's not working now. Don't get it.
It's because you're live.
Like a trick within itself. Like that was one of the tricks.
It's the live gremlins.
That's right.
I guess, yeah. So something like that, right? And then we can take this background and maybe we can just change that up by either setting the brightness contrast, by making it darker or lighter. That makes it pop. Or I could go ahead and go to hue saturation and colorize that background. That's and cool, make the saturation whatever color I'd like. And then maybe I could lower, again, darken or lighten that background.
Yeah.
So it pops. Right. Or maybe if I was trying to get, I don't know, orange might look cool. Anyway, without wasting time, I would just add some text and boom, pop, 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 pop.
That's what.
I don't have to have popcorn tonight.
Next time I want to razzle dazzle a customer, I just hit the F key several times. Pop, 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 pop.
Like, don't do anything to the design. Just hit the F key. What do you think? What do you think?
Wow, that really pops. I know, doesn't it?
I'm gonna have to have popcorn tonight now.
Oh, maybe.
And again, we can do a motion blur in there. Just adding things up, just to spice it up more, or to deflect the background, or to make it not even a background, right? It could just be like a fancy background instead of an background that actually makes sense and kind of goes along and ties in the image.
Why do that?
Stop making sense.
Why do that?
Stop making.
All right. So what do we have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh, okay. Here's another one.
A head full of
or less. I can go over all the social links after too.
So here's a cool one. The other way to spice up your photos is to maybe paint them in. So if I, we all use the history. Everybody know the history.
Yeah.
So, as I do things, as I teach, when I teach like basic Photoshop, I just show how, like, if I do a dot here, oops, that's not a dot. Let me change my brush, my flow. I'll even change this brush to hard. And now you can do a dot, 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 and dot. You can see that it's adding on in my history channel, right? And as I press Command Z, it's going backwards through that history states. So instead of doing dot, 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 like so many, and pressing Command Z 8-10 times, I can just get back to here, right? Using the history panel. What the history panel can also do is have us go back to a various state. So for instance, here is something different. I don't know what that is.
How'd you get that? That's magic.
I don't know where that came from.
That popped, man.
It did pop. I was popping too early though. Pop's getting hot in here.
Well,
I'm gonna make a new layer. Command N, press OK, and Command V to paste. And we'll start here, and you'll see it's simpler now. And I can press Command A and press delete. And I've deleted this image totally.
Oh, no.
But I know if I go back to new, or maybe paste, we have this image here, right? So here's the actual image, and here is where I'm going to be. But I can click over here on the paste part, which is showing the actual image. And now I have nothing on my canvas. But if I take my brush, you'll see I just get black. So isn't that cool? But if I switch brushes and choose the history brush, which correlates with the history panel, and I actually changed my brush. I cheated, but if you come into the brushes, right, they have these normal brushes, general brushes. And then if you scroll down, they have some crazy brushes, right?
Nice textures,
The Kyle Webster.
So a lot of these textures, these kind of paint brushes. We can use a spatter. And I'm not sure which one I have, but
brush,
I could just then paint my image in, right? I'm painting from the history.
Magic.
That is magic right there. Did you take these pictures?
No, I did not. Actually, I did. I took this. I forgot. I was thinking, oh my God, I didn't, but I did. I took this picture and I took that Red Zao tribe. Yeah, on different hikes when I was in Vietnam.
Andrea says, way to make it pop, 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 pop.
What's that?
Andrea says, way to make it pop, pop, pop.
Oh, thanks, Andrea. But yeah, then that pops.
Cool shot, though. Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. And then one time I did this. We Command Z enough. We can come in here, talk about making things pop. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. Like
you're gonna
let me get in there a little bit more.
There you go.
Modern dental work.
That's right.
So yeah, this is
for the photo.
I have like this crappy little mouse that I'm holding on. I don't have my Wacom attached this minute.
So,
but let's just say I'll do a little bit more.
A little retouching
there, and let's put those on its own layer. Those dirty things. And here we could maybe just go to hue saturation. And if I go to yellows, we have the master. Master is all the colors, all the hues and saturations.
Right.
So one thing we might want to do is clip this.
Yeah.
So that it only affects
that selection,
the teeth, right?
Yeah.
And now it's all these colors. I'll put that back, double clicking it. If I go to the yellows, you see I can saturate the yellows or I can desaturate them. That's the first step in whitening some teeth. Although I think Photoshop might have like this thing that does it itself.
It does.
And then of course I can maybe come over here and kind of pump up, right, the darkness or the whiteness. And maybe you can go a little extra because you can always lower the opacity here to kind of blend a bit. So she's, what does she want? She's not a miracle worker here. But the real way to do it, and we've done it in class before, is I'll go to the website and I'll grab a beautiful smile and I'll just kind of drag it down and scale it in and mask it in and give her a nice new set of teeth.
Yeah, cool.
All right, we have time for one more. I'll do it fast.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's see. I thought I had a nice tiger. Oh,
you
man.
do, in the middle.
It's not good because that has no background in it.
Okay.
You know what? How about this? What if we go in here and use another tool, object select tool, you know, like let people help me, let Photoshop help me when I can. And I'll Command J that. And then maybe here I can say, I don't know, what do I want?
Fiery waves or something.
Forest and jungle scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing this stuff?
He's in the wild.
Boom, boom. Much faster than me typing.
Yeah.
Make it pop.
And I didn't have the E key. My E key doesn't work. Did I say that? My W and the E. All of a sudden, they just.
Oh, your E
Stop
key
working.
too?
So what's next? W, E, what else?
I'm assuming it's going to go R is next. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cool.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but
You can work with it.
we have other options. But all
Well,
right.
after
I
like
didn't
5
pick the right
seconds,
thing.
boom.
I don't really love it, but but we're out of time. So I'm just going to, maybe I'll take these two together, Command E to merge them together. I want to merge, get rid of this guy first. And I'll just merge. Where is it?
Just do
Where's
Command
visible? Okay. And then I can maybe Command D or Command J twice to duplicate that layer a couple times. Maybe this layer, I don't know, for now I'll just add with black. And this layer, I'm going to grab a selection tool like that and select kind of my object there. And then I'll get a right click. Again, I'll transform my selection. And I can use right click. I can, do this perspective if I wanted to. I just find out there's more, I get more issues because I could do this, but then when I do that, I can't. So I kind of tend to just, right click and use distort. Then I have more control. So something like that. Getting nervous. You guys are all watching and everything.
Yeah, we got all quiet here.
And then here I can do something like maybe on a new layer, edit stroke. I guess this theme is being a stroke for making things pop. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we can do something like that. And then I can come inside of here and maybe grab my magic wand tool to select the insides of this.
Dun, 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 dun,
And then I can come down
dun,
here and turn this one off. And if I add a mask, I got that now, right? So I have
Right.
half of the things to make things pop. And then I can take this image and maybe use my object select tool again and grab my tiger and kind of Command J him to the top.
Rising
Get
up.
rid of this guy. Oops. And then put this knee and something like that,
There
right?
you go.
get the idea.
Whoosh.
And then we just change the background or color or I don't know, or maybe a gradient overlay or something to make it pop.
Yeah. Hello.
You get the idea. So it should probably be, it depends on the image, but for this one, I probably should have taken that maybe even down more. I wasn't sure. Maybe I should have taken it down to like there or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to see because he's kind of blocking the corners of the image
Right.
to make it pop, but you get the idea, kind of, sort of.
It still pops, baby.
Then I can oops, I didn't mean that.
Was recipes? Will your recipes come up?
That's my everything. That's stickies. And if I click on this layer and press D and option delete, I can kind of cut it down. So I don't know if it's better or worse. Maybe it's a little bit better that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey.
It's 4 o'clock. Just made it. So you get the idea. I went a little fast for certain things, but this is how you make your images pop. Hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope it helped a little bit.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, Andrew. And back to you with the studio.
Ooh, my ears popped.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, so let me let everyone know where you can follow all of us online. So starting with John.
I just saw your is Edward's image clipped the right leg, so it's jumping out. Yeah, stuff like that gives it a little more pop. You're thinking, but when everyone's watching you, but I feel you. You're on the right track. Paying attention, buddy.
So yeah, so starting with John, you can follow John on Facebook at Pixelingo Media. on Behance at Pixelingo, on Instagram at PixelingoJW. Then for Mark at headtricks.com, which I believe is also where you have information about your teaching, correct, Mark?
That's correct. Or headtrickstraining.com. And Edward also said that I should add the drop shadow, which I would have done, but I just felt like it was 4 o'clock and I need to stop. But yeah, drop shadow underneath the paper, the Polaroid paper on the bottom would look nice, and a drop shadow underneath the tiger reflecting on the paper. It just pop, 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 pop. I mean, that's what we're talking
Okay,
about.
we're doing your links now, dude.
All right.
Okay, so Instagram, Mark at Headtricks. And then also on YouTube, youtube.com, Headtricks Training.
Actually, it's just Headtricks on YouTube.
Yep. And then for the YouTube is where I will be placing the recording. So you can follow me at Drew Cav. So youtube.com at Drew Cav. That's Drew Cav on YouTube. And then you may have joined us from some of the Facebook groups. So if you have come here from the Photoshop and Lightroom group, thank you. If not, come join the Photoshop and Lightroom group, facebook.com/groups, Photoshop Lightroom group, before Facebook takes it down.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, they keep false flagging things. You
I
know?
know.
The bots are out of control lately, you know.
Shame.
And then the AI Art and Digital Art group, facebook.com/groups, AI Art, Digital Art. That one's growing too. So the first one, the Photoshop Lightroom group, that's about 390,000, even though Facebook keeps chipping away at it. But the AI Art and Digital Art group's about 43,000 now, growing.
Wow.
So probably going to have a contest when we reach 50,000.
Cool.
And we got some comments here.
What kind of to the death?
Pop.
Oh, no? Okay.
Just
Really?
pop.
The word of the day.
Pop, pop, pop. All right. Well, thanks everybody for attending. And remember to check out the YouTube, my YouTube at Drew Cav on YouTube. Drew Cav on YouTube. That's where the recording will be. And then I'll also share it to the groups, as I always do.
When you share it on the groups on Facebook, where will we find it?
At
Look
the
for
top pinned post.
Top pin post.
Anyway, how to get that in
Always
there.
look for the top pinned
Top
post.
pin post and make it pop.
Announcements for live events, news, contests, and these recordings. Top pinned post. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for attending. Thank you so much, Mark and John. And
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, everybody.
Appreciate